So against all odds on yesterday's video, we qualified for the Champions League and almost won the league. But now we've got to prepare for that Champions League campaign with effectively a budget of zero. We've got no money to do it with and no players. There might be some job hunting involved in this season review / transfer special / will another Champions League club take me? Hello and welcome to Club 5, part 17 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have our season review and summer transfers. And, I mean, are there any jobs? I don't think there are any jobs that we would want at the moment. No. Oh. This is going to be a difficult summer. Budget-wise, this is what we've got to play with. There's loads of money in the bank, but we've only got £15 million transfer budget and basically no increase in wage budget. I'm not sure if we can... Can we ask for any more? Increased wage budget, please. We believe the current wage... Well, you remember we qualified for the Champions League, right? Can't stress how important I think this is. I'm tempted to give them an ultimatum. I think that we might do that later on in the summer. Get myself fired once it's clicked over into the new season, just to confirm that I did qualify for the Champions League. I need that reputation boost. But we'll worry about all of those admin and transfer bits later in the video. For now, we need to celebrate what was an incredible season. And this is our team of the year for probably the most overachieving best season I've had in Non-League to Legend so far this year. And the team basically picks itself because there aren't really any other options. Mayer in goal, a back four of Friedel, Emmanuel, Gomez and Butkerite, Murray and Janicic in midfield, Okafor, Vital and Chapman behind Thorn. I think every single one of us would have picked that same 11. Player of the season, of course, was Okafor, followed by Gomez and then Thorn in third place. Sven Chapman gets the goal of the season. Let's have a little look at this shot. I don't specifically remember him scoring a wonder goal, but perhaps he did, and I've forgotten about it. So let's have a little look at the goal of the season. From a corner, so a centre-back taking a corner. It eventually falls to Chapman on the edge of the area. Takes a couple of touches. It's a good goal. I think we scored better goals than that, but I won't argue. Okafor gets signing of the season. I think in the last episode I said we signed him for £7.5 million. Obviously I was wrong, £9.25 million. Still signing of the season, still signing of the save. To pick that man up for less than £10 million is the best piece of business I'll ever do. And Gomez getting young player of the season. One of many players who's here on loan, and that is going to be a bit of a problem for this summer because 3 of the back 4 in that team of the season are all here on loan. Butkerite, Gomez, Emmanuel, all loan players that if we can't get them to re-sign for another year, we're going to have to completely rebuild our defence. And with only £15 million to do it with, that could get messy. Stats for the season, Thorn top scorer with 19 goals, Okafor highest average rating, Vital and Thorn both 6 assists each. Yuki Mori, the goal of game centre-back, best pass completion at 87%, because obviously he spent most of the season in midfield. He's just a goal of game centre-back. He doesn't score from midfield. Okafor, most man of the match, and then badly behaved little rascals down the bottom there with their yellow cards and red cards. So our season review, I mean, we massively over-succeeded. That's scarce few pundits would have been brave enough to pluck Hamburg from mid-table obscurity. And we're now in the Champions League. Excellent stuff. Partly, I think, because we didn't have anything else to distract us. We got knocked out of the Cup early. We didn't have the Europa League. It is going to be a different story next year. But 55,000 nearly is our average attendance. 29 players used, highest in the Bundesliga. That really surprises me because I couldn't name 29 players that we've got. I think we've probably got 14 or 15 that are actually good enough to play for us. So that is a very surprising number. Match of the season, beating Schalke. Moment to forget, Nuremberg. I mean, imagine if we'd have won that game, we'd have won the league. There's so many games you can say that about. If we have a look at the schedule, it's full-on post-mortem time, particularly these two. Frankfurt and Fortuna Düsseldorf, and even Greuther Fürth in the next match. 3 consecutive draws. If we'd have won any one of those games against teams that ended up finishing in the bottom half, I think. If we have a look at the final table, Frankfurt, Greuther Fürth got relegated, Fortuna Düsseldorf, all 3 of them ended up in the bottom half of the table. If we'd have scored an extra goal in any one of those games, I don't even know where they've gone, where have the matches gone? If we'd have won any one of those 3, we'd have won the league. So close. We'll just have to do even better next time round. We don't need to worry about how the previous team, we don't care about the 2019 team here. We weren't here then. Team leaders, Janicic, Vital and Friedel. That seems about right. End of season team meeting. I guess we need to manage expectations a little bit. I don't think we can expect Champions League again. I hope. We're not going to win the title. I think we just have to qualify. Let's qualify for the Europa League next year. I think that's realistic. We're not going to finish in the Champions League spots again with the budget that we've got. If we'd have been given 50 or 60 million pounds, then maybe. But with the budget that we've got, if we can avoid the sack next year, I'll be quite happy, because I think it is going to be a tough season. But that is the season review complete. Last thing we need to do before we, I guess, wait for the 1st of July, because free transfers are going to be incredibly important. But let's just clear filters and re-scout anybody who's any good, because we're going to need current active scout reports on as many players as we can, because we are going to have to do some serious wheeler dealing to try and bring in the players that we need with the money that we've got. It's not even the same as last summer, when last summer we had a few players that we could sell to bring in the funds. If we have a look at what went on last summer, we sold £67 million worth of players. Zagadou left. Obviously that one wasn't ideal, but Adley going for £36 million. It gave us the money to go out and spend 40 million quid, which allowed us to bring in the likes of Okafor. And I mean, he was the only one that was a big signing for decent money, really. I guess Rocky was a bit of a flop, really. But we don't have a £20 million or a £36 million player we can sell this summer. It's going to be a difficult one. Roll on 1st of July. I hope there's some good players available for nothing. Couple more awards then. Liam Thorne, who apparently the game thinks is a winger, which doesn't seem right. I mean, he's accomplished as a winger, natural striker. He got 2nd in the top goal scorer. I didn't win Manager of the Year. I was 2nd in Manager of the Year, but did win Players Manager of the Year. I don't understand what the difference between the two is. Who's voting for Manager of the Year? We've got players in Team of the Year, so Maya and Okafor both making it into Team of the Year. And the players also pick a Team of the Year, which is exactly the same team, isn't it? Pretty much the same team. Again, Maya and Okafor both making it into that team. So there are 2 star men. I'm one of the Managers of the Year. Are there any more jobs available for me? No. Well, the club are bringing in even more money that they don't want to share with me. We now have a new stadium sponsor, a £19 million deal against a previous £4 million deal. So we're making an extra £7.5 million a year in sponsorship deals through various things. These were the top shirts sold. Rocky, I don't understand. Vital, Janicic, Thorne, Okafor and Rocky. We've got our new scouting budget as well. But worryingly, the 3 loan players who we've had this season, they're all wanted to have first team opportunities by their parent clubs. So Emmanuel goes back to Leverkusen, who we finished above. Gomez is going to be going back to San Lorenzo. We can't afford to buy them either. The price we had agreed for Emmanuel was £18 million. We don't have £18 million. And Buckerite is going to be going back to Stuttgart, who we finished above. So we have Friedel. He's our only defender. Literally the only defender at the club. And we've got £15 million to spend. Guess where my summer priorities are transfer-wise? Is Schuster available, or have Tottenham finally given up on him? Because we'll bring him back. How do you spell his name? Schuster, or is there a C in it? No, there is a C in it. Michael Schuster. Tottenham. Barely played him. Can we have him on loan? No, not until the transfer window opens. He might be target number 1 on loan because we have no money to spend. So we've hit the 1st of July then, and the squad is looking desperately thin when it comes to defenders. If we just have a look, narrow this down to senior squad and defenders. I mean, it's worrying. These are our senior defenders. So Murray, we know he's a goal a game centre-back, but really we want him in midfield. Friedel, left-back. That's it. They're the ones. We've still got Bernard Berg, who's signed a new contract. We did see a little bit of him last year. He might well need to step up because he's now the best centre-back at the club. We've also got Jan Masej, who you might remember from when I first arrived at Hamburg. I described him as being our new Kubik. Well, he's since become a right-back, and he's our best right-back at the club. He's been out on loan at Wimbledon last season. In the Championships, playing a decent level of football, but don't really want to have to rely on him. He has got 2 full caps for the Czech Republic, so he'll be fine as a backup. And we've got a decent backup left-back as well in the shape of Haris Lukacevic, who's 17 years old, came through our youth system. And, we're all right for backups. Those 3 I don't mind having in the first team squad as backups, but we absolutely need a new right-back, 2 new centre-backs as an absolute minimum. German Mike is already on it. I don't even know what our director of football's name is. German Mike Phelan is already on it. He's offered this guy, obviously he's not scouted yet because this has just happened. He's offered this guy a season-long loan, right back from Leipzig. They paid £19 million for him. He played half their games for the last 2 years. He'll do, I imagine. I imagine he's going to be better than what we've got at the moment. So he might be coming in immediately. And we need to start making some moves, looking at who's available for freebies. If we look at our squad depth as well, it's terrifying when we look at the defenders. Everywhere else, we're kind of okay. Midfield, we're all right. Attack, we're fine. We're probably going to let Van Emmerik go this summer. Although Canoni isn't anywhere to be seen on there, so maybe Canoni's the one we let go. And we keep Van Emmerik knocking around. He didn't really get a look in last year, but he still is only 23. Not exactly scored for fun since he's been in Germany. But he's probably our best backup according to those star ratings. And we could probably do some backups in wide areas. But to be honest, my one and only priority is going to be sorting out this defence. We need players in the defence and we need them urgently. So we're going to have a little look to see what's available as free transfers and defenders, really. So let's try any defenders who are willing to join us on a permanent transfer. And this is the problem we're going to come up against. Massive fees for anyone who's any good. This guy, he's 19. He's not going to be someone who's going to come in and be good enough to play in our first team straight away. We've been burnt like this before. This reckons he's potentially better than Emmanuel. I suggest he probably isn't. He's not even been scouted properly. We need to scout him properly and then make a decision from there. I don't want to spend money on him because we haven't got money to spend until I know he's definitely better than Emmanuel. Schuster. He's wanted by someone. Is that someone us? He's listed for loan. Oh. Yes, we'll pay that. That's fine. Right, Schuster. That would be a massive signing to kick things off. If we can bring Schuster in, that's huge. Emmanuel it'd be lovely to have him back, but apparently Leverkusen want to be able to play him. They're just going to sell him to Milan, aren't they? Cash in on him. But I'm just going to basically go through this list, try and identify some value in defence and take it from there. I'm also going to see what my director of football's got for me. Hold on. Director of football, suggest transfer targets. Come on, we need defenders. What have we got? Let's get all these lots scouted. They're all going to be too expensive, I imagine, but we will see. Have you got any free transfers for me at the back, Mr. Director of Football? Or are we too big and too good for free transfers now? Yeah. Hopefully I'll have some transfer news for you in a moment. Well, I've been doing as much of a clear out as I can. It's not quite as effective as last summer's clear out, but we've sold our backup goalkeeper. We've sold a youngster. We've sold Van Emmerik because we got a £5.5 million offer for him. And for a player who scored 3 times in 3 years, we'll take the loss there. And we've also confirmed the signing of Schuster. We are spending a lot to bring him in on loan. It's an £8.5 million loan deal when we only had £15 million to begin with. So, yeah, it's a lot of money. We've now given Tottenham £13 million worth of loan fee for him now. And can we extend this loan, actually, for another year? No. But, I mean, he is the best. He's better than any defender we had at the club last year. He's the best player at the club now by star rating. So, can't really complain about that. My director of football is still working on 2 more defenders. So, we've got... Or he was. What happened to the right back? Did that one fall through? That one must have fallen through. I didn't even notice that. Well, he's... I did not get a message that had fallen through. He's trying to sign this guy who, I mean, centre-back, right-back, ticks all the boxes. He'll do. I don't know what happened to the right-back from Leipzig. I can't even... Does anyone remember his name? There's no way. It must have happened a while ago as well, because he's not even showing on there anymore. So I thought that was going to be our defence sorted when we had this guy with Schuster and the right back from Leipzig. As it is, we need... Oh, we've got clauses. Let's sell some clauses. How do we... Right, Bayer. How much can we get for him? Yeah, we're just going to sell every clause. We need money. We desperately need money. Sell clause. Is there anyone else? I'm not buying clauses, but we'll sell clauses. Sell... We'll sell this one as well. I'm not even looking at them. I just want cash now. If you offer me a £5, I will sell you your clause. I don't care. Just get me some cash. Is that's all of them. That's given us a bit more money. So we need a right back, it seems. I don't understand what happened. Can we have some more money, please, board? I need money. Right, I found the right back from Leipzig. Now I understand what's happened. We got gezumped, Hertha Berlin, £18.75 million. They've signed him permanently. That's a shame, because he was really good. He would have been very handy to bring in. We've also got the scout report through on the guy that my director of football is currently trying to sign. Not as good as Schuster, but, I mean, we need bodies. He's a centre-back who can also play right-back, so we absolutely want to bring him in. I'm still struggling. We've got a little bit of money. Trying to find a defender who's any good for us, though, is proving to be a real challenge. Have we had an updated scout report on that other guy who was relatively cheap? I can't remember his name now. Where is he? I'm doing terrible. I need a manual's on the transfer list. We haven't got £15 million. I wonder if we can get him on a cut price deal somehow. Or maybe even, will you let him... Can we have him on loan now? Oh, right. Attention, everybody. We might be able to bring Emmanuel back. Excellent. Kurt Zuma, he's 33 now. Schuster, who was the guy? I don't know that I necessarily need the guy from somewhere in South America who I can't remember. So now we just need a right back, because we're potentially going to have 3 decent centre-backs in Schuster, Emmanuel and the Swiss guy. So now we can spend some money on a right back, but these are all youngsters. Or there's a guy called Nappy. Just a good name. Like that name. Like it a lot. Not good enough though. Any Nappy. I'm tempted to sign him just because of his name. We need a right back to emerge from somewhere, or we're going to be playing somebody out of position there. Right, we have a defence. There's a couple of returning faces. Both Emmanuel and Butgerite have returned. We couldn't bring Gomez back, but I guess we don't need to because we've got Schuster and Mariani. So Mariani's the first one who comes in. Swiss, under 21 and full international. Centre-back who can also play at right-back. 3-star current ability. 4.5-star potential ability. He's basically going to be our backup player at centre-back and right-back. Emmanuel is going to be coming back in to form a partnership with Schuster. We had him last year. He's as good as Schuster. They're probably our 2 best players at the club at centre-back, which is excellent. And Butgerite, I don't know how we've managed to bring him back again, but we have. So he comes in as our right-back, just continuing where he left off from last season. So 4 loan signings, 4 new defenders. We've still got £7 million to spend. I don't think we need any more defenders now. We could probably do with a left-back, but I don't know. I'm now thinking, where else do we need to strengthen? It would be nice to have another left winger. It would be nice to have someone who could play both wings. That would be the ideal. Or maybe a backup striker for Thorne. But I've been so focused on defenders and we're running out of time on the transfer window that I don't actually... Although, doesn't the German transfer window go all the way to the end of August? So we're actually not running out of time. So I'm going to try and spend my last £7 million wisely. I think that's been quite effective so far, though. Loanies, good defence, 3 returning stars. I'm feeling confident for the upcoming season again. We're running out of time to bring anybody in. We're a week away from our first game of the season. It's a cup game. I'm probably going to play that one offline as part of this video, and we'll go all the way through to the 18th for Hanover, and we'll do Hanover and Fortuna Dusseldorf tomorrow. But still, even up until that Hanover game, we've only got 10 days. We still haven't brought anybody else in. Looking at who we've got on our shortlist, or it's not even our shortlist, our scouted players who are interested in coming. I mean, if we look at the ones who are not interested, there's loads of lovely players, but they're not interested, so let's not worry about them. Looking at the ones that are interested, you can see we've had a real focus on defenders, because a lot of them are defenders. We don't need any more defenders now. I kind of wish we'd found George Armstrong a little bit sooner, because he's relatively cheap. We could have afforded him. We could have bought him permanently for the same price we've paid to loan Schuster. But at the time we brought in Schuster, I was panicking because we didn't know we were going to get Buckerite and Emmanuel back on loan again. So, regrets. But I don't know. There's nothing here. That we've got £8 million to spend. He would have been a lovely player to bring in on loan. But I mean, we can't buy him, and he's already on loan at Brentford for the season now in the Premier League. So forget him. We don't need another attacking midfielder. We certainly don't want to buy someone else from Rangers, because we were burnt Hamburg were burnt the last time they did that. And we don't need a goalkeeper. We don't need another per-buy. We had that problem at Fulham. And I mean, really, if he's the 7th best player we've got available on our scout reports, do you remember him from Fulham? We had him on loan for a little while from Tottenham. He played once. I was very confused because I didn't realise we had 2 of them at the club. And since then, he's never played a top-flight game. He's been playing in the Championship. He's spent a few years in League One. He is not the player to bring into our Champions League campaign. Worryingly, the star rating suggests he's as good as Vital, which is terrifying. But there's just nothing here. Unless something spectacular comes up on a scout report, I think we're going into the new season with this squad, which really is last season's squad. We've just replaced Gomez with Schuster. We've got a little bit of extra cover in the shape of Mariani, who can be back up at centre-back and right-back. But other than that, we've certainly not strengthened. You could argue that Schuster for Gomez is slightly strengthened, but it's not an area we needed to strengthen. I'd love another winger. Ideally, one who could play both sides. I'd love a backup striker, because we don't really have one who's any good. We've got Kapshak and Canoni, but they're not Champions League players, are they? It'd be nice to have another central midfielder. But there's nothing. There's nothing there. My own transfer rules ruining me again. Hopefully a star is about to emerge and we'll do some late business. Well, it's fair to say that game was a bit one-sided. I don't think I've ever had more than 50 shots in a match before, and the opposition getting 0. 66% possession. We ruined them. And Canoni got 2 goals as well, coming off the bench, which is, there you go. There's our new striker, Lorenzo Canoni. It's the year of him. We missed a penalty as well from Friedel, who then just stayed up front. This goal wasn't as part of the move. So he'd just missed a penalty before. This is the free kick that he took as follow-up. And he's just hovering around here. Bearing in mind, Friedel's the man who scores in a minute. And it's a little tap-in. He's just decided, I've missed a penalty. I've missed my free kick. I'm just going to score a goal. And that's what he did. He stayed up there, scored a goal. We win 6-0. The real season starts soon, like 4 or 5 days away. We still need a player. Some kind of attacking player. I don't care what, just some kind of attacking player. Well, we've made it through to the first day of the new season, and we didn't sign anybody else yet. We do still have nearly 2 weeks of transfer window because we're in Germany, not in England. We've only got £7 million to spend. I know people will say, why didn't you ask for more money? I've been checking all summer. It has never been an option on there to ask for an increased transfer budget. It's like the board know. There might be one more player coming in tomorrow's episode, but at the bare minimum, there's going to be Hanover, Fortuna Dusseldorf, and the Champions League draw. So even without shiny new players, there's plenty to look forward to tomorrow. I mean, it's not been the worst transfer window in the world. Once again, we've cleared out a lot of deadwood that we had knocking around, players who just weren't getting in the side. We've brought back 2 important players from last season, 1 important player from the year before, and signed a backup. So we've not strengthened the team at all. It's going to be a problem. We were paper thin at times last season, squad depth wise, and you could argue with more fringe players moving on, we've got an even thinner squad going into a Champions League season. It's going to be tough, but just like I was constantly checking to see if there was any way to increase our budget, I've also been checking the job centre all summer. There's been no decent jobs come up, no big jobs anywhere in Europe all summer. So I think we're just going to have to grit our teeth, get on with it, and hope for the best. Luckily, the board have completely reasonable expectations for the upcoming season. Bundesliga-wise, they're just looking for a top-half finish. They're not even bothered if we don't qualify for the Europa League. So a top-half finish, reaching the group stage of the Champions League. Well, we've already qualified for the group stage of the Champions League. They want a quarter-final in the Cup. I'm not bothered about the Cup. I don't think they are too. As long as we end up finishing the top half, I'm not going to get fired. So my view is, let's focus on the Champions League, see if we can get through to the knockout rounds, maybe even imagine a Champions League quarter-final, for example. Surely that's then enough to secure me a big club job for the following season. That's what I'm hoping for. But you never know, we might sign an absolute superstar and still be okay. But we will wrap things up there for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.